Hello and welcome to Foundations of Building a Healthy Lifestyle with Laura. Um, and I'm coming to you today to talk about cholesterol, right? Everyone's like, oh, my HDL, my good cholesterol is not high enough. My LDL, my bad cholesterol is not good enough, or my total cholesterol. But yeah, I'm eating well and everything else, right? So stay tuned to hear a little bit more what cholesterol really is and how it helps your body, and also how to help it to find that healthy balance. So, as a refresher and a disclaimer, I am not a doctor. I am not your doctor, and I'm not your specific nurse, right? So, I will not diagnose you. I will not give you a treatment plan or anything else, but I will help advocate and I will educate and we'll work together to move you forward into the life that you're looking for so you can have the health and the journey that you are looking for or that you want, right? That we don't have to settle, and that God gave us this amazing body and the ability to repair itself and to flourish. So stay tuned, right? All right. So let's talk cholesterol. Now, did you know our body creates cholesterol? It actually makes 2/3 of our normal cholesterol. The other third, what is it? It's from our food. That's right. So cholesterol is almost like a fine, it's, when you think of lard, right? And you think of how it's greasy, how it can be moving, but that component of that lubricant, right? Uh, helps in so many ways because it helps to create the cell lining. So every cell has a cell membrane, but basically keeping those things together, right? Without cholesterol, it wouldn't help keep our cells together to be able to receive signals or nutrients to come in, like the sodium and potassium cycles that go on. And I won't go into the nerdy science, okay? I don't want to talk way up here and not be able to relate. So cholesterol helps with those. Cholesterol actually helps with the development of vitamin D. So, when we go outside and we get the natural, so vitamin D actually isn't really a vitamin, right? So it's not like something you can eat from a plant or whatever. Like vitamin D it actually synthesized. There's something about it that is created that our body needs to help with our immune system, helps with oxidative stress. So um, that chemical reaction that gets that extra oxygen molecule that can cause inflammation, cause irritation in our body is vitamin D. So hang on with me, right? I promise it will all make sense. So um, let me, so cholesterol is good. So it's building the structures of the cell membranes, which also leads to helping repair tissue, to um, making new tissue, those kind of things. It also helps with those fatty hormones. So that is strongly related with cholesterol. So think about our sex hormones, our testosterone. Yes, women, we still have some testosterone. It should be an equal balance. It should be a balance. Like we have more estrogen, progesterone here. We have less testosterone, right? Males have more testosterone, less testosterone. Also, think about adrenals. Our cortisol is a steroid, like it's a cholesterol based. Okay. Think about that, and I'll explain a little bit more. It also helps with your metabolism to work a little bit more efficiently. Um, and it works to help the cholesterol is needed to also help create bile, like the bile, which also helps combine the fat that we digest with the water, um, so that way it can actually be broken down and absorbed to help digest that fat, to absorb those nutrients that are there. Without cholesterol, that wouldn't happen. So we need cholesterol in our body. Okay. It's how do we have a healthy balance as well? So that makes a huge difference. Let me know if this is making sense. Okay. I don't want to talk over your head. I want to make sure it makes sense. So, pardon me, I got a fur baby that's coming out. I don't know if you can see. Nope, you can't see her fluffy tail. um, sorry, I'm a human. It happens, right? As I multitask, as she came back. Pardon me. Um, There we go. Sorry. So I have in my notes here because I find it so amazing of how God made us, and without certain things working in place, that other systems of our body have to work harder. That sometimes when we have aches and pains and everything else, it's because sometimes of what we put in our mouth, which it triggers a reaction, which then causes other things to not work. So cholesterol is huge. So we can't get rid of cholesterol. You want cholesterol in your body. We want it to help with our brain. We want it to help with our repair. So think of it as we age, or as we like when I broke my foot, right? Like I broke my foot and I still needed those tissues, those ligaments to repair, because I also strained or sprained it, to help with the muscles for to that were ripped or cut open. I need those cells to repair. Um, let's see. Also, so like the basics, when I was looking up in naturopath, like in my training, and to go through. So there's studies that show when we're outside, when we have more natural light, our cholesterol goes down. Why? Because it's used to help develop vitamin D. In the winter, sometimes our cholesterol goes up. And this is me thinking, okay, of also probably because we need that warmth, right? We need to stay warm in the winter. Do you know why sometimes we have high cholesterol? Now, again, make sure you talk to your doctor, make sure you review that your history, all that is going through, okay? A lot of times high cholesterol is because of inflammation. Inflammation, swelling in our body. You might not see it. You might not see the obvious signs, outward signs, but there's still inflammation happening in your body because there's some kind of irritation, okay? The side effects of that inflammation, because whether it is stress, your eating habit, sugar increases. Sugar causes inflammation, causes oxidative stress. Oxidative stress, remember that what I said a few minutes ago, that oxidative stress, that extra oxygen molecule is creating havoc in our body, and it's called free radicals, right? Usually, so overall picture, high cholesterol is related to your inflammation in your body. Think about your joints, digestion. When you don't eat well, what happens? You don't feel well, right? You get sluggish. You feel like you're sore. You don't have the energy because you're constantly trying to figure out what's going on. Your body's not able to digest well and all that. So that inflammation that happens is causing your cholesterol go up, because your body's trying to decrease the inflammation as it makes cortisol. Cortisol is a steroid, right? So because you have inflammation, you need a steroid to help decrease it. Your body's trying to decrease it down. In order to make that steroid, to make that cortisol, you need more cholesterol. So because we put things in our body, or because we're under stress, which also creates inflammation, right? So when you think about when you're under stress, a lot of women, we carry all this stress back here in our shoulders, right? We carry it here. We sit, a lot of us sit like this at a computer. We don't look at our posture. We don't move our body to release that stress, that tension that's there, which also creates, again, irritation in our body. So what our body, to help balance out that, is it creates cholesterol to help with cortisol, right? It also, you need glutathione, which our body produces or has, and it reuses, and it mixes with vitamin C. When we don't have enough vitamin C in our body, glutathione doesn't bind to that extra oxygen molecule very well, which creates a crazy cycle. Sugar is actually known to be the cause of heart disease, not cholesterol. It's also related to like your homocysteine. Homocysteine will be elevated if you have like homocysteine is another, it's another molecule or another thing that you're looking at a level, but a lot of doctors don't look at it. Most likely, if you have high cholesterol, you have high homocysteine. Okay. And it will also show that means you need to help support your vitamin C glutathione. Now, I say this because I don't want to support and I don't want to recommend other vitamins and different things. It's that natural what we eat, that rainbow, right? So cholesterol is your body's way of trying to protect yourself and trying to help address the inflammation that you have, as well as we need our cholesterol to balance out everything, right? But when we're overstressed, when we're not moving our body, when we don't have enough vitamin C, our glutathione pathways aren't working. It's that craziness, right? So that's why it's important to look at, okay, what can I control? What can I do, right? So it goes back to those foundations that we've been talking about of our nutrition, our hydration, our stress relief. Are we getting enough sleep? Are we going outside? Like as this study says, right? As a study, and I can send you another link as well later. If you ask specifically if like easy ways to understand cholesterol, explain it, right? Um, that when you're outside, you actually burn up that cholesterol because it's creating it into vitamin D. Vitamin D helps our immune system, um, helps prevent things. Like it's amazing, right? I should probably do another one on just vitamin D, but cholesterol is good. It's just not fixating on so much on the numbers, but actually making sure that you're able to support your body the best it can. So for those that are eating well, but their numbers are still high or it's concerning for your doctor, look at what can I control? And am I sleeping well, right? If you're not sleeping, your body's not repairing well. Your body can repair when it's sleeping. Okay. That's when the brain actually is able to stop taking in all the extra stimulation around you and actually send cells and send the signals there to, hey, we need to fix this part of the body. Hey, we need to do this. We need to clean up this stuff, right? So we need to make sure we're sleeping well. And that's usually for most adults, 7 to 9 hours a day of restful sleep. We need to make sure we're hydrating, right? What is hydrating? Hydrating helps flush our system. Okay. So removes toxins by drinking and hydrating. It helps it get in the cells, and the cells need hydration to actually be able to receive those signals. We are an electrical being, right? So we have an electrical current that can go through us. Think about how our heart is. We have the electrical current of our heart as well as a pumping mechanism, a physical pumping mechanism heart. But without that electricity in our heart doesn't pump, right? Hence why you think of pacemakers or ICDs, the things that can shock your heart into a better rhythm. So if that, you also want to make sure you're going outside, you get real sunlight, full spectrum. There's been research studies out there that shows that when you have artificial light all the time, you're not getting that full spectrum. You're not absorbing the same way as you would if you had full spectrum, but it also hinders mental. So it because of your vitamin D and your cholesterol and different things, it actually hinders some of the neurotransmitters, so your serotonin, your dopamine, that the receptors in your brain and stuff, right? Being outside helps release some of that stress. And also most of us when we're outside, what happens? We take that fresh air breath, right? And we're able to get through it. So being outside helps feed this through. Plus, being outside helps our eyes to take in that natural sunlight and send signals to our brain with our circadian rhythm. So there's many benefits that are going there. So if we can look at our basics of foundation, which is your sleep, your nutrition, your hydration, your mobility, that can all help reduce stress, which also helps reduce inflammation, which also then will help reduce your cholesterol. Okay. making sure your nutrition, when we talk about nutrition, whole foods, your body, research has shown so many times that when we actually get our nutrients um, from our food, like your vitamin C from cucumbers and strawberries, uh, are readily absorbed better than when we take a synthetic version or a pill form of it. Research shows that when you actually have more vitamin C in your body, because I think if I remember correctly, um, we're the only mammals really that don't make our own vitamin C, but we need it to survive. So having vitamin C actually helps decrease our cholesterol because we need vitamin C and glutathione to help address the extra oxygen molecules that happen as we detoxify, like as our body naturally does it. We don't, and that's amazing, right? That our our body, the way God created it, helps us to have that check and balance system. So don't just think of, oh, my total cholesterol is so high and my HDL and LDL. Let's take a breath, pause. Is it high because I'm under stress? Right? What are my triggers? Am I under stress? Am I physically under stress, not just work or life situations or whatever? What can I control? And then once you look at that, if there's an answer there, okay, let's address those. Then look at, is there something that I'm eating, like sugar, right? Because sugar is more uh, um, highly addicted than cocaine, and it creates an inflammatory response system, as well as sugar molecules attached to the cells where vitamin C is supposed to. So if you think about that crazy cycle, when I say that we need vitamin C to help detox or to help get rid of waste product, and yet we have sugar that's taking the place of vitamin C, right? So we need to look at that. And from there, we can then move forward of, hey, if I add these things to my diet, or if I get outside, take some deep breaths, try to release some of that stress, look at different body works that you can do that help reduce some of that to help detoxify, which is the next video I'll go through, is actually constipation or um, healthy bowel movements, right? Like, let's go through that, okay? Um, so if you're listening to this, and I'm going to summarize real quick for you, cholesterol is not good or bad. We all need cholesterol. Our body makes 2/3 the amount of cholesterol we have, and the rest comes from our food. A lot of times when our cholesterol is high, it is related to inflammation in our body. Inflammation stems into what will become disease processes if we don't address it. Things that trigger inflammation is stress, eating habits, not moving, and a lot of sugar. Okay. Um, let me make sure there's anything else. And then how do we help with that is looking at our basic foundation. So looking at our sleep. Are we getting enough sleep for our body to repair, to detox, right? Are we moving our body to help sweat, which is a way to detox, to help with our peristalsis, to be able to eliminate? Are we taking our deep breaths, which also is another way to release from our lungs some detox? Is it our nutrition? Like, are we eating too much sugar, consuming too much processed foods that actually will turn into sugar, which then creates an inflammatory response? And making sure that we don't just address the numbers, but look at really what's going on in our life that could be causing our increase in cholesterol. Without cholesterol, we don't repair. We might have saggy skin. We don't have sex hormones really well, and we might have low libido. That we Without cholesterol, you might not always be in a fight or flight, or you might not have enough cortisol levels. Um, there's a lot of things that in our vitamin D in our immune system, it all affects together. So we need cholesterol. So we need cholesterol, and we can help find a healthy balance for ourselves by addressing our foundations, by making sure we sleep, by making sure that we laugh and we have de-stressors in our life and we pause and we eat the rainbow diet, right? So thank you for humoring me. Thank you for being here today. If you have questions, put them in the comments or reach out to me via Instagram or Thrive with Laura Tate, Empowering Health and Legacies on Facebook. And I'll talk to you next time. Bye.